Hello everybody, welcome, what's up, how you doing? Today we're going to be talking about the Genshin beta tester who received a 500,000 yuan fine for breaching contract and leaking Genshin Impact beta stuff. Which I saw that from a techie video and I was like, I gotta stop, I gotta watch it myself and make my own opinion before I watch anyone else because I want to, sort of really think about it myself. So let's watch it together and then I'll probably think about it for a little bit and then I'll give you my opinion.
Or so you thought. You see, the translation that you see right now is fake. Here's the real translation.
Oh. What the fuck was that all for? What do you... The lawyer's letter was sent to my doorstep. I filled in my address and sent in the agreement to conveniently receive presents. My performance was excellent during the testing period. I completed many quests, receiving some small merch. I work at Shanghai. I already paid 100,000 settlement from selling my home mortgage loan, old home at the one in Shanghai. My account got confiscated through Baidu Teba. Account is still mine. I can only say thank you, Mikoy, for privileging me with a living road. TM antonym for a dead end. Still, I must pay 500,000 since I did sign the agreement in black and white. Did write 500,000 after this wave of events. I can only say regret is useless and taking responsibility is the most important. Okay. When that MiHoYo employee, young lady, looks pretty good, brought a lawyer, big uncle, to me. To meet me. Do you know what you've done? Have you heard of killing the chicken to warn the monkey? You are now that chicken. At that moment, I only wanted to take the knife took out of my hands. Just for a moment's pride and vanity, I put the word integrity at the back of my head and made this mistake, bringing me and my family great amounts of unneeded trouble. After these 2 days of busy handling the procedures and receiving criticism, it somewhat came to an end. I'm here to share my thoughts and probably warn each leaker currently. No matter if it is reposting or data mining, whether it's illegal, whatever you've done, you know it in your heart. God watches from above. Everyone has different destinies. When I first received the test invitation, I was very happy. It was like a devout follower finally hearing God's supply. You may think it's exaggerated, but to me it was like that. I played a lot of games, but there was no game like Genshin with its unique music and visuals. Okay. That really doesn't change anything.
The house that he sold isn't the one on Shanghai. It's his old home.
Oh, that's...
The part of him saying he got a 500,000 yuan fine, confronted by MiHoYo, even his desire to cut his hand, well, that one is indeed true. But the resentment to MiHoYo, pity remarks about his situation, and the statement about how MiHoYo caught him is fake and not written in the original post.
The guy's response is
fact,
different.
His post is actually filled with his regret and acknowledgement that he signed a contract and breached it. Remember, justice may be late, but it never absent. Uncle Takashi never clearly state his situation, but he did say that he will bear all the responsibility for his action. Now, you might be wondering what kind of contract Uncle has signed, right?
Indeed.
Well, here it is. MiHoYo has this confidentiality agreement that all chosen beta testers must sign. The agreement is also given to the content creators who want to work together with MiHoYo. In there, it's written that you agree to keep and not publish any MiHoYo's invention and software as they're considered confidential information. Any other information given by MiHoYo is also considered confidential, even if not said or written. Those who sign must treat those information like they treat their personal information and must report any known leaks to MiHoYo. A breach of this agreement will result in a 10,000 US dollar fine and might increase to compensate all direct or indirect losses. That is why Uncle received a 500,000 yuan or equal to 77,000 US dollar fine in total. Because God knows how many leaks he had been given out.
Leaks account on Twitter. Are they safe? Probably not.
Well, some people says that they're just a way of publishing leaks. The admin doesn't live in China nor sign any agreement. This makes them practically free from any direct legal involvement with MiHoYo. They just publish any information data mined from the beta client given by Chinese leakers. And that's why they always give a disclaimer on how their leaks will never fully represent the final product. Well, that's pretty much sums up the story.
Yeah, I misunderstood the question that he showed on screen. Twitter leakers won't have any repercussions, I don't think, unless they are the actual beta testers themselves. The people that will have the repercussions will be the beta testers. Because those are the actual leakers. But what the Twitter people are doing is just reporting on the information that is given to them, which is technically not illegal or like under contract with MiHoYo. Well, first, before I start, I'm going to mention a couple of things that really stand out to me that are not necessarily related to the specific case of, the $500,000 fine. MiHoYo has technology to know which leaker is which, and like which player from a leaked video or stuff like that is each player, and they just now started using it after like they've leaked literally the entirety of Inazuma and all of that stuff. Like, it's kind of crazy that they haven't done it before. Maybe it's not as good as technology as they make it seem to be. I believe that's closer to the case, because if not, they wouldn't be making one person the example for all leakers. They would have made multiple examples out of people instead of just one, in order to, flex their muscle that, they have the technology to track you down and know who you are. Secondly, why did on-game show the first reaction, the first translation? Like, the first translation had nothing, like, if you check this one, this translation, after literally going on it for so hard and making it seem so sympathetic, literally was just a false translation. I don't know why he showed that translation in the first place, but yeah, it's kind of weird, champ. I guess it's for the content, but okay. So firstly, Uncle Takashi is just in the wrong because, well, he literally signed an NDA. Like, he signed a non-disclosure agreement. I've signed non-disclosure agreements before for other things I've been a part of that I can't talk about, because if I do talk about them, then I literally would get fined the same way Uncle Takashi would. You're signing a non-disclosure agreement, and it's called a non-disclosure agreement because you're not supposed to disclose anything. And leakers always run the risk of getting fined and, getting a huge, hefty lawsuit, because that's what they do. Like, you signed up for a beta test that you're not supposed to spill the beans on, because that's not what the company wants, and they're giving you the opportunity to test and experience content before everyone else, and then you come on in and leak all their information that MiHoYo is a company. They want to hype up their future release of content the same way that, like, I don't know, if you market like a vacuum cleaner or something, like you don't leak that sort of stuff because it's important for them, because it's part of business strategy. So it makes total sense that person's getting fined. And for anyone that's like, oh, but like they ruined this dude's life, he was just a college student. But like, that guy signed a contract that he knew he couldn't say anything, that the title of the contract is confidentiality agreement. Like, when you sign those sorts of things, that's what you sign for. If you love the game and all of that, and you really appreciate MiHoYo for what they're doing, then the guy has to recognize that, like, man, I would get really fucked up if like I leaked all of this information from one of the biggest games in the world right now. And look, MiHoYo's language of, do you know what have you done? Have you heard of killing the chicken to run the monkey? You're now that chicken. That does sound very, like, ominous and scary, but really it's just to scare, like, it really is just to scare the kid and put a warning on all the other leakers to stop leaking, because they knew that this guy was gonna come out and say all of things that he said. Like, this is all just a big plan to get people to stop leaking, because MiHoYo tried to do it passively, which is like, you know, if sign an NDA, a confidentiality agreement, like every other company does. People still did it, right? Start banning beta testers with no repercussions aside from literally just banning them outright. The ones that are really easy to get. Still didn't change the behavior. Literally gave us heads up on characters, like how they announced Yoimiya, Sayu, Ayaka ahead of time for the 1.7 update. They showed them in like the little Twitter posts, and the leakers went overboard and did it again, and they leaked the entirety of Inazuma, and like they did a gazillion things which I haven't seen, but like I know this has happened because that's all the community talks about right now, and I made a meme of it in TikTok, which you should watch. So literally, we've kind of strongholded MiHoYo into doing this, because they don't have, like, they've tried every other choice aside from literally just like giving up and letting people leak and whatever, but that would hurt, like, that could hurt their marketing campaign, that could hurt their like hype, building up hype for future releases. Like, you know, it's just what are they supposed to do? And this guy, yes, it's quite the hefty fine, $77,000, or in total it was like 92,000, and him having to sell his house in order to pay it really does suck, and it's awful that it's happening to a college student, but like literally that's what he signed up for. That's literally what he signed up for. He said in the official translation that it's that he would take responsibility for it, and that it's written in black and white that like you have to pay this amount of money if you leak and you're found to leak. So like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Look, as much as I personally like leakers for characters, only characters, to know ahead of time like what Primogems have to prepare, because I'm not a whale. I buy Battle Pass and Welkin at most. So as much as I personally benefit from the leakers and the characters that they say ahead of time, like, I can't argue with MiHoYo, because that's literally what the people sign up for. But that's what the NDA is for. They're fully within their right, and if they just decide not to release characters information, and they want to crack down on leakers who release information from their games, like, they're fully within their rights, and the people that sign up for the NDA know what they signed up for. It's not like, oh, it was in the fine print. No, it's just kind of secretive. No, you signed up for being held accountable for suing and like all of that stuff. So I don't know. Hopefully there's not a big discussion on this online about how like, oh, this poor college student, he didn't know, blah 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 blah. MiHoYo went too hard. No, like literally, it's written in paper. It's what is written down, and what they told everyone who signed the NDA they were gonna go through and do. Even down to like the number of the fine. So if y'all are defending this dude against MiHoYo because MiHoYo seeked legal action after they've tried every single other outlet that was not legal action to stamp down on leaks, and the leakers only doubled down and made it worse, you're dumb. You're dumb. I don't know what to tell you. And just to make it completely obvious and transparent, I personally, like I said before, benefit from the character leaks. I think literally everything other than character leaks shouldn't be leaked, because while, you know, you could, I argue that you because if you're a player that doesn't have the amount of money that Tactone has to spend on the game and get every character, you really have to like make sure that you're spending the Primogems on the characters that really interest you, right? So although you can argue that, you can't really argue for leaking world bosses, future content in the game, and all of that. Because, like, really, what are you gonna prepare for? What are you gonna prepare for the future boss? Just mentally prepare for it? Like, what do you mean prepare for them? For future content? Like, there's literally no reason for other as content aside from characters for it to be leaked. There's literally no reason. The only thing you could sort of argue on the side of is the Primogem amount that we would be getting from the said future content. But even then, it's sort of almost predictable every time. We've always gotten about 12,000 Primogems every patch, at least. And if you have Welkin and Battle Pass, you could just add the wishes and Primogems you get from those onto that calculation. It's pretty easy to know how many Primos you're gonna get without having to actually go out and look for leaked information. So yeah, please, Genshin community, don't defend or don't attack MiHoYo for this, and don't go defend the leakers for this, because literally this is what they signed up for. Cool if you like the leakers and what they're doing, and if you respect what they do, and then because they're brave or whatever, because they went out of their way aside from their non-disclosure agreement to give us information. Cool. I agree that MiHoYo needs to do more to give us more information so that we can properly prepare, especially for the free-to-play and low-spender people in the community. But for the love of God, do not defend this guy and attack MiHoYo for literally following through on the word and the legal, like, written down things that they've specified for everyone to follow. But with that said, I'm gonna wrap this video up and I'm gonna go watch Techie's video because, you know, watch that too. Watch him. Go watch him. Subscribe to me too. Go watch him. Future Luca chiming in. Take this with a grain of salt because we don't know if this is real or not. It's just a post online on the forum, so we don't know if it's real or not. I'm assuming it looks very, very real and very, very feasible, especially considering that the official confidentiality agreement is shown later, and the special details about that confidentiality agreement line up with the details in the post. So yeah, just take this with a grain of salt just in case, but it does look very real. But with that said, thank you already so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you for watching and sticking through my worthy, lengthy discussion. Don't defend this guy, don't attack Toyo. Papa bless, all the love, and I'll catch you on, actually I'm trying to stream today at 4 p.m. CST, so probably by the time this video goes live, on Thursday and on Sunday. And there will be more information on a super long stream that I promised, thanks to our charity stream, which went amazingly. So stay in touch, join the Discord, link in the description, and follow me on Twitter, because those are the places where I talk about those types of the events the most. I don't think I'm missing anything else, so I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.